I'm 74 years old, and this morning I had to sit down and rest after walking from my bedroom to the kitchen. 20 feet, maybe less. And I stood in my kitchen, gripping the counter, breathing hard, heart pounding, waiting for the dizziness to pass, thinking, this can't be right. This can't be normal. Walking across my own house shouldn't leave me feeling like I've run a marathon. But it does. It has been for weeks now, maybe months. And yesterday, after sitting down to rest for the third time before noon, I finally admitted to myself what I'd been trying to ignore. My body is giving out. And living alone when you have to rest after every small thing, that's not independence anymore. That's waiting for disaster. It started with stairs. Maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I noticed climbing the stairs to my bedroom left me winded. I'd have to pause at the top, catch my breath, let my heart rate settle before continuing. I told myself it was normal. I'm not young anymore. Stairs are hard for everyone my age. Nothing to worry about. Just take your time. So I did. Took my time, held the railing, moved slowly, and that worked for a while. But then it wasn't just stairs. It was walking to the mailbox at the end of my driveway, then walking from one room to another, then standing long enough to make a cup of tea. Every activity, no matter how small, started requiring recovery time, started leaving me exhausted and shaky and needing to sit down. I live alone. I've lived alone for 8 years since my husband died. And living alone after 70 means there's no one there to notice these changes. No one to see you stopping to rest every few minutes. No one to ask if you're okay when you're clearly not. No one to catch the warning signs until they've already become serious problems. You're on your own with your declining body, and it's very easy to pretend everything's fine when there's no one there to contradict you. Have you noticed this happening to you? Activities that used to be nothing, suddenly leaving you exhausted. Showering became an ordeal. Not just the balance issues, though those were there too, but the standing, the reaching, the energy required to wash and rinse and dry off. I started having to sit on the edge of the tub halfway through, breathing hard, resting before I could finish. Then I started sitting on the tub before I even got in, psyching myself up for the effort. Then I started skipping showers entirely because the whole process was too exhausting to face. When was the last time basic activities didn't require rest afterward? When did your own house stop being a comfortable space and start being an obstacle course? Making my bed became impossible. Not because I couldn't do it, but because bending over to tuck in the sheets, reaching across to straighten the comforter, walking around to do the other side, all of it left me so winded I'd have to lie down on the bed I'd just made and rest for 15 minutes. So I stopped making it. Just left it unmade. Added that to the growing list of things I used to do but couldn't anymore. Cooking got dangerous. I'd be standing at the stove and suddenly feel dizzy, lightheaded, like I might pass out. I'd have to turn everything off and sit down quickly before I fell. Wait for the feeling to pass. And the whole time I'd be thinking about what would have happened if I'd passed out with the stove on. If I'd fallen and hit my head. If I'd been hurt with no one there to help. All the ways that living alone makes every physical crisis potentially catastrophic. Do you find yourself constantly calculating risks? Constantly aware that one wrong moment could change everything? My daughter noticed when she came to visit. She asked me to help bringing groceries from her car, and I had to sit down twice between the car and the kitchen. She watched me with this growing concern and asked if I was feeling all right. I said yes, just tired. But she kept watching me the rest of that day. Watching me sit down after walking to the bathroom, watching me rest after standing to make coffee, watching her mother become someone who couldn't do basic things without stopping to recover. Before she left, she asked point blank if this had been happening a lot. The needing to sit down, the getting winded, the exhaustion, and I tried to downplay it. Said it was just normal aging, just getting older, nothing to worry about. But I could see she didn't believe me. Could see her calculating what this meant. Could see the nursing home fear in her eyes as she wondered if her mother was still safe living alone. That night, alone in my house, I tried to deny it. Tried to convince myself this was normal. Everyone slows down with age. Everyone gets tired more easily. This was just part of getting older. Nothing alarming. Nothing that required intervention or help or changes to how I was living. But then I tried to go upstairs to bed and had to stop 4 times. Had to sit on the steps twice, breathing hard, waiting for my strength to return. And when I finally made it to my bedroom, I was so exhausted I didn't even change into pajamas, just collapsed on the bed, fully clothed, heart racing, body shaking, thinking, this is not normal. This is not okay. This is dangerous. The next morning I couldn't get out of bed. Not because I was paralyzed or injured. Because I was so exhausted from the effort of climbing the stairs the night before that I had nothing left. I laid there for hours, needing to use the bathroom, needing to eat, needing to take my medication, but unable to summon the energy to stand up and walk. And I thought about what would happen if this got worse, if I became completely bedridden, if I couldn't reach my phone to call for help. All the ways that elderly living alone can turn deadly when your body stops cooperating. I finally called my son around noon, told him I needed help, that something was wrong. That I couldn't keep pretending this was normal aging when I couldn't walk across my house without sitting down to rest. And he came right over, found me still in bed, helped me up, helped me to the bathroom, made me food, and then we had the conversation I'd been dreading. He said this wasn't sustainable. That living alone, when you can't walk without getting exhausted, when you have to rest after every small activity, when you're at risk of falling or passing out any time you stand up, that's not safe. That's not independence. That's waiting for an accident that could end everything. We went to doctors, ran tests, found some things, heart issues, blood pressure problems, other things I don't fully understand, but that explain why my body can't do what it used to do. Some of it's treatable, some of it isn't. Some of it will get better with medication, and some of it will only get worse as I age. But the bigger issue is what this means for my living situation. Can I really stay here alone when walking to the kitchen leaves me breathless? When I have to sit down multiple times just to complete basic tasks? When any moment I might get dizzy and fall with no one there to help me up? When aging and independence have diverged to the point where claiming one means surrendering the other, we've made changes. A medical alert button I wear all the time. A home health aide who comes every day. Plans to install a stair lift so I can stop risking those stairs. Maybe eventually moving my bedroom downstairs. Building scaffolding around my limitations so I can keep living here even though my body is failing. But I know this might not be enough. I know there might come a day when no amount of accommodation makes living alone safe. When the risk is too great and the nursing home fear becomes nursing home reality. When I have to choose between my home and my safety. When independence isn't something I'm protecting anymore, but something I've already lost. It's been 3 weeks since I admitted this was a problem. I still have to sit down after small things. Still get exhausted from activities that should be nothing. still struggle through every day in a body that's betraying me. But I'm not alone with it anymore. I'm not hiding it. I'm not pretending it's fine when it's clearly not. I have help. I have support. I have people watching to make sure I don't hurt myself. And that's what aging alone looks like when you do it right. When you admit you need help before crisis forces it on you. If you're having to sit down after small things, if walking across your house leaves you exhausted, if basic activities require rest and recovery, please hear what I'm saying. This is serious. This is your body telling you something is wrong. This is a warning that you need help, that you need to see doctors, that you need to make changes before you hurt yourself. There's still time to get help. There's still time to find out what's wrong and whether it can be treated. There's still time to build support around yourself so you can stay safe even if your body keeps failing. But there's not unlimited time. And waiting until you fall or pass out or can't get out of bed, waiting until emergency forces intervention, that's when you lose all control over what happens next. So please, be honest about what your body is telling you. Are you really okay? Or are you struggling through every day, hiding how bad it's gotten because admitting it feels like giving up? Because admitting it isn't giving up. It's saving yourself before it's too late. If this resonated with you, if you're living with this same struggle, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who might be hiding their decline. Leave a comment about your experience, because you're not alone. Hit the like button if this felt real. We need to talk about these physical limitations. We need to get help before we can't ask for it. That's something I'm learning, one exhausting step at a time.